What if I told you that in the next 25 minutes, you'll build a personalized workout planner with a dynamic calendar, drag and drop support, and real-time syncing, all without writing a single line of code yourself? We're vibe coding our way there with Cursor and AI doing all the heavy lifting for us. Let's go! Hey, Alex here from Grit AI Studio. Welcome back to our Build with Grit series. So far in this series, we've gone from a static landing page to a full nextjs app with Supabase login, user profiles, and a dynamic workout library. In this video, we're taking the next step, building a visual workout planner for our users. This is actually something I've been missing in the various training apps that I use. And a lot of people make their plans in a spreadsheet or notes on their phone, and I figured this would be a really useful feature to build into our running coach app. Users will be able to plan their weekly training schedule using workouts from the library, personalize them, and visualize it all on a calendar. Drag and drop included. Whether you're building a running app or any product that involves scheduling user preferences, this is for you. Let's go. So before we code, let's think about the structure. We already have a profile table for user information, and we have a workout table for reusable workout templates. We'll now need to introduce some new structure to capture the planned workouts for our users. It would also be cool to have some sort of pre-made plan that our users can choose from and adapt to their own preferences. Designing data structures is not necessarily easy, especially if you have no coding background. But don't worry, we'll turn to our old trusted friend O3 for some guidance. Can you help me model a Supabase schema and a plan for implementing a workout planner in our application? We want to build this feature around our existing workout templates library. We want to make it easy for our users to create a plan for X number of weeks. Let us offer a manual mode where the user starts with a blank calendar and an option to select from pre-made plans that we create as administrators. It will be awesome with a drag and drop calendar. So then I reviewed the initial output, and this approach seemed a bit too complicated, so I decided to add some more of my thinking to guide O3 in the direction that I envisioned. I'm thinking that for the pre-made plans, we should think along the lines of a template with a number of workouts over a period of time, and then have logic that takes this template and maps it onto the user's real calendar for whatever time period they selected. We can then do plans like 12 weeks to a faster 10K or a sub-130 half marathon plan. And this time we get a much better solution that aligns with what I had in mind. O3 suggests a data structure where our user plans and the planned workouts are structured nicely, and O3 also outlines the key workflow for how this solution would work when we implement it. O3 suggests using something called a remote procedure call, RPC. We'll come back to that later. So finally, I'll ask for a markdown file that we can use to help guide Cursor when we start building out this feature. I find that this approach dramatically improves the results, and I would encourage you to always take this approach when building out new features, rather than just prompting everything directly in Cursor. O3 also outlined suggestions for future enhancements, while keeping the initial scope clean and to the point that we asked for. I quite like the idea of recurring templates like tempo runs every Tuesday, and also that we should in the future be able to reflow remaining workouts after missed sessions. That's actually something that I think would be very useful for a lot of users. I used a few different prompts here. I asked for a PRD document, and I also asked a few follow-up questions for clarification, and eventually ended up with everything I needed to combine into a scoping document that we can use with Cursor. Now let's create our tables in Supabase. We'll use the SQL editor and the SQL script that O3 suggested for us. We also need to remember to turn on row-level security and set up the policies with the script we got from O3. Seems like the script was missing the RLS for the plan template item table. Let's run that one as well. Okay, now everything is up and running. Now, to deal with the logic of creating an actual plan for the user based on a template plan, O3 suggested that we use something called a remote procedure call, or RPC, which is a Postgres function that lets us execute logic inside of Postgres from our code in our application. Let's set up the create plan from template function using the script that O3 created for us here. Once this is up and running, we can guide Cursor to use this when we implement the feature in our app. Now that the function is defined, we can check that it's available here under Database and Functions. Okay, all good. Now, before we start building, let's drop in our scoping document in Cursor. This will significantly improve the results when we start coding with Cursor. We'll start off with a prompt along these lines and reference our scoping document. Let's build a workout planner for our users. I've included a scoping document outlining my thinking for this feature. We've already defined tables in Supabase for this planned feature. Please follow this document, plan, and start building out the feature. We should start with the manual plan creation. Then we should create the calendar view component where the user can both view and edit their plans. We can then implement the process for creating a plan based on a template later. Please ask me any clarifying questions you may have before implementing anything. A key phrase that I've found really helps when building new features is this last one here. Please ask me any clarifying questions you may have before implementing anything. This prevents the AI assistant from just filling in the blanks on its own, which can sometimes create a lot of issues or unwanted results. So definitely make a habit of using this phrase when you're building out new features. Now Cursor asks some good clarifying questions that we will answer. I also find that this helps me envision and sometimes challenge my own thinking, so I quite enjoy this process as part of the build. I think it would be cool to drag from a sidebar, but we should probably also support clicking on each day in the calendar. Definitely drag and drop, but we need this option for mobile users in the future. And I think we're okay with a week planner to start with. Okay, let's go. Wow, that's a lot of tasks done in one go. Let's have a quick look here. It appears to be done with everything and has listed a few next steps also. Let's take it for a spin. So we at least have our new workout planner card here in the dashboard. Let's see if it actually works. Wow, that's amazing. I did not expect that it managed to pull all of that in place on the first try with no errors. That's actually insane. We got our calendar, we got our workouts, we can add workouts on any day. We can even search here. We can change weeks, that works. And we can edit the workout. We can definitely improve on the look and feel here, but it works. Searching also works, that's awesome. We can personalize and set our desired intensity here. Okay, let's try drag and drop. Wow, it actually works! I tried building something similar about 4 months ago, and the AI struggled a lot back then. Now it managed to do it on the first try. See the difference from our first videos where we encountered a bunch of errors? Then we updated our rules, switched to a better model, and improved on our process for scoping and prompting. That's exactly why we spend time with preparation. It just saves you so much hassle. Okay, so now we're happy with our version 1. Let's review the code changes and commit our feature. So we have a few of these type errors that we talked about earlier. Remember, we can easily solve this by restarting the TS server. There we go, no more errors. We have a new API route here for our planned workouts. This is where we communicate with Supabase, saving and loading workouts to show in the calendar. On the dashboard page, we can see that the AI has replaced the placeholder card and introduced our new workout planner card. And the actual planner is found here under the /plan page. We see that our type definitions have been expanded with our new data tables. And finally, our planner page uses a set of newly created components. Here we see the planner component and separate components for our select modal. This is what pops out when we click on the plus sign on any given date. The sidebar is what we see on the left-hand side, where we can browse the different workouts and use the drag and drop functionality. Alright, let us stage our files and commit them with a commit message. Okay, so now that we have our first version of the planner up and running, I like to do a review and essentially talk my way through what I want to improve or change. You can of course do this by writing notes, but I really like talking out loud while using Super Whisper to capture everything. So let's do that. Now let's log in. So this is looking pretty good. We've got our workout planner and we've got our profile page. So let's open the workout planner. So this is looking pretty cool. We could do something about the look and feel here, but let's not worry too much about that. Now, maybe we want to have some sort of search on the left-hand side where you can pick and choose the different workouts. So we should definitely add that. And then we also want to be able to click on the workouts, I think. Now we can drag them, and it does say drag workouts onto calendar days, so yeah, that's fine. We can navigate. We did want to have a monthly view, so maybe we should add that as an option. So for the calendar to toggle between weekly view and monthly view. And then we probably, we want to have this search also on the left-hand side. Now I don't particularly like this look and feel. Maybe we want the modal to be, I mean, this is not too bad, but maybe we want that modal to be styled a bit more similar to the rest of the page. And then, let's look at the modal, So one other thing that would be nice is to maybe have like a favorite option, so that instead of having all of these, this can be quite a lot for the user. So maybe we want some sort of ability to mark them as favorites, I mean the workouts, and then they could here filter on only showing favorites on the left-hand side. And then also, I think it would be maybe a future improvement is to change these workouts to be color-coded so that you can sort of differentiate between an interval workout and the long run, etc. So but that's more for the future. Okay, the last thing I think we need to look at is when we click on a workout. This doesn't look very nice. So now we have like the edit workout, which is popping up on the right-hand side of the screen. So we'll probably take a screenshot of this and say that we either want it as a modal on top or as a slide-in on this look and feel. So maybe like it should look similar to the workout selector on the left-hand side, because now this doesn't look really good. But apart from that, I think it's pretty good. We could do something around like the default distance duration, etc. But I think we'll improve on that later in the series when we add AI to the mix. So for now, I think this is fine. And other than that, the only last thing we could do is from the workout library. So if we go to our main page and we go to a workout library, we probably want to be able to sort of open one of these, and right now it just says start workout. Maybe we want to style this a bit better as well, but yeah, start workout. Maybe this could be add to plan, right? And then you just select the date and then it brings you over here. That could be an optional improvement for the future. But for now, maybe we just focus on the favorite feature and improve the look and feel of this. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So now we take our brain dump from Super Whisper and paste it into Notion or ChatGPT or Claude. I'll use Notion and then simply ask Notion to recap the brain dump into concrete action points. And Notion does a really good job in my opinion. Let's save most of these improvements for the future, but let's do a few light ones for now. The search functionality on the left side should be fairly straightforward as we already have the search in the add modal. And then we can also improve the edit workout modal, which does not look all that great right now. Let's save the favorite feature for later. Let's prompt Cursor based on our brain dump and add a few screenshots to help guide Cursor. Great. That was easy. And search works. We'll commit that improvement and move on to the next. Let's try to improve the look and feel on our edit panel as well. We'll add a few screenshots and prompt Cursor. The workout edit panel doesn't look great the way it shows right now, as the entire screen is black. Could we maybe turn this into a more natural drawer element, popping in from the right-hand side, in a similar style as our workout sidebar maybe? Now you can see that I'm referencing the actual files. You don't have to do that. You can also use words and try to explain, but over time you'll get more and more comfortable with how your code actually works, and it makes it easier to be specific when prompting. Let's test it out. Still some improvements to be made here, so let's keep prompting Cursor. We'll take another screenshot here. Okay, that's a lot better. Commit our improvement, and we're ready to cover the next major part of this build, the plan templates. So for this one, we're again going to use O3 and ask it to help us generate some plan data for us to import into our Supabase tables. I'm essentially telling O3 about our current progress, what our data tables look like, and that I want a few sample plans like a 6 weeks to a faster 10K plan and a 12-week half marathon plan. At first, it suggests an approach that generates everything with SQL, but I would rather have the AI here actually make a plan and give it to us in CSV format that we can import into Supabase. For this to work, I'm asking it to first generate the top-level plan entries so that we can import these and then get a proper ID from Supabase. Then we'll provide these back to O3 for the final step of creating the actual planned workouts in these template plans, with the correct IDs that we have in our Supabase. Now O3 generates the final CSV that we can import with all the workouts in each of these two plans for us. Now we can head to Cursor and start implementing the Add from Plan functionality. Now let's add the feature to our workout planner so that the user can create a plan from one of our plan templates. Use the Supabase MCP to look at the data currently in our plan templates and plan template items tables. And again, I'll add the sentence, plan the feature and ask me any clarifying questions you have before implementing. We'll go through the questions, answer to the best of our ability to give Cursor as much context as possible. I will guide it on what to do later and also where to place the UI elements. Now Cursor is also making use of our RPC function that we defined earlier. Okay, complete. Let's have a look and see if this thing works. So we have our import button here. Look at that. We have our two plan templates as well. We get a confirmation dialog. And it works! Wow! Let's try one more time. Now we get a warning that it has a conflict. We'll expand on this in the future to add stats and more visual insights into the training, but this is more than enough for now. Now we can of course create plan templates like we did with O3 and import them into Supabase, but we probably do want a way that our admin users and maybe even coaches in the future can create these type of template plans in our solution. So let's test the limits of Cursor and see if we can build this one as well. Let's start with a new chat and prompt, as our final piece of the puzzle, let's create an admin feature where our admin users can create and manage the plan templates. We should be able to access this from the admin dashboard in a similar way as we can access our admin/workouts feature. Carefully plan out this feature and ask me any clarifying questions before implementing. We get some clarifying questions to answer. Let's keep it pretty simple for now. We can reuse the same approach as we have for our workout selection. Pretty good idea to allow a duplicate plan feature. That's clever. Okay, let's go. So cool. This is so much better than I even imagined. We got our plans, it's added a publish state for us, we have the duplicate button, and even some stats for each plan. But seems like we have some issues when trying to change or edit here. We got a nice calendar view to edit the plan as well. But none of the save actions are working. Probably just some RLS issues again. By now, you're probably starting to see a pattern here with these type of issues. Let's try adding a new plan. Same issue here. Okay, we see this error in Cursor from Supabase, confirming that it is related to RLS. So now I'll teach you another trick to save you the hassle in the future. Previously, we've used O3 to help us with policies, and that works sometimes, but not always. We use the Supabase advisor, and that also works, but not always. Now, this approach is what I've found to be the absolute best one. Supabase actually have a dedicated rule file for working with AI assistants and creating RLS policies. Let's copy this and head over to Cursor. We'll add a new rule, call it Supabase RLS policies, and paste in our rules. Now we can ask Cursor about our RLS issue and tag the rules file that we just added. We'll also ask it to use the Supabase MCP to review. It provides us with the RLS policies that we can simply paste into the Supabase SQL editor. We run it and no errors. Great. And now we run the last one for our plan items. Success. Okay, now let's go back to our admin page and try adding a new plan template. And now it works. We can change visibility. We can duplicate a template. Make changes to it. That's going to be very convenient. And then we can go in and edit the workout items in our plan. For some reason, the modal was just a placeholder, so we need to ask Cursor to finish that last part. A runtime error here. Let's just fix that as well. Okay, now it works. That is so cool. And we can see it here in the planner as well. Time to commit our changes, another feature in the bag. Now, I couldn't help myself and I had to add one last thing, namely the favorites feature. It only took a few minutes. I prompted Cursor, being specific, and asked it to provide me with the necessary SQL to update our tables in Supabase to support this type of functionality. We just drop that SQL into Supabase, create our workout favorites table, while Cursor actually completed the feature for us. And there you have it, a fully functional visual workout planner built in record time using Cursor and Supabase. Honestly, I'd not expected things to go so smoothly, but this just shows that with proper planning and scoping, active use of rules and prompting, we can remove a lot of errors and get the results that we envision. You now have a workout planner that uses your workout library, supports personalization, syncs with Supabase in real time, and is easy to build upon. In the next video, I think we're ready to take our application to production with Vercel and add resend as an email provider so that people can sign up to our solution, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI-powered builds. Drop a comment with your feedback, questions, or feature ideas, and I'll see you in the next one.